This is usually what I work on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but life happened. I didn't work on it Tuesday or Wednesday, and so now I'm doing it now. Can't hear you yet. Screech my name. Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, so what I'm actually going to start off with is, oh, I am not on, uh, I'm not on YouTube browser yet. Here we go. Let's see if anyone's over here saying hi. Nope. Oh, there's a few people watching. All right. So now this is a momentous occasion in which I am going to shake the drawing. All right, we're good. Speaker. I'm not taking. Oh, you know what? I didn't put that in there. I'm not taking any requests. I am clearly working on a drawing. So this part, I'm going to spread the powder around the best I can inside. I'm going to lightly shake it to fade everything I've drawn so far, and then I'm going to work on it again. All right, here we go. Not enough. This side's really faded. Dang it. I think that'll do. All right, now I got to get my easel. Hoping I didn't shake it too much. Hello, Jerry! Pardon me, I'm setting up my easel. Yes. I'm going to get support keyboard. Pardon me. Y'all get to see my legs and stuff. Legs! All right, let's see. Hello, Jason Bacon. All right, let's. I'm not sure how I feel about the shake, but there it was. Like, this is so gone. There was a lot of powder over there. That was, that's rough. Oh, a better angle for. All right, I'm going to start my timer now. It's what I do in all my drawings, Chloe. Yeah. I try to party on now. Step to the disco. I lightly shake it so that way all the shadows that I've drawn fade. It'll become a two-tone drawing. This is what I do on my large drawings. Most large drawings. I rock steady, no doubt. You ask for something, that's all I have. But it's not. It's there. Oh, Nikes, that wasn't all right. I don't want to fit him, I don't want to smile. All right. Anyone watching this, hit the button. Oh, thank you very much, Jerry. Twice now, I thought I was all the way at the edge of my heart. I like the way that. So what I do when I retrace, so I've made everything faded. Oh man, it just wasn't even possible. Dang it. First time I see it, I was like, hallelujah. Oh well, it is what it is. It's still gonna look good in the end. It'll actually look kind of cool to have two-tone background lines. So I'm gonna draw new lines in the background. Big fluent instrument, sex with clothes on, dancing on the dance floor, getting my bulge on, rising, and I got a Trojan just in case we get it going on. Let's retrace the outside of the Etch A Sketch. If the ladies in the disco club, the disco club, and dancing in the disco club, and shaking in the disco club, sex in the disco club. The place in the disco club. I was. Well, you know what? I'm not paused. If you go to the disco club, I gotta make sure to pause and browse. The ladies in the disco club. Oh, it's music. Music sounds better in on TikTok.
Play a missing, yeah, I'm a missing. I go to clubs and I sip on prison. I don't mean I'm like the and tricks and they getting all these chasing money and vixen.
I'm not going to do this in silence. Sorry. But the microphone I'm using on YouTube is more of a voice microphone. So you hear my voice. The music's all robot-y. Sorry if it's distracting. Sorry that it is distracting. You stated it was distracting. That was my question. Sorry about that. We're gonna break it on down, rub it on your belly like an ultrasound, shake it like a jelly and move around. Really wanna see you flaunt yourself. Watch me get a little crazy. Don't hesitate, won't take long. That's when I'm doing these drawings. I do need to look more at my drawing than my chat, so forgive me if I miss something. Especially on this retrace, I gotta make sure it's exact. Check me on it now. In the disco club, feeling the disco club, and dancing in the disco club, and shaking in the disco club, thanks to the disco club. If the ladies in the disco club, the disco club, and dancing in the disco. I'll be back to this knob. Snob, back to that knob. Although the drawing does look like it's gone in person, you'll see it. That's all right. I'll just work with what we got. Behind her, my shadow starts to burn into it like a whisper. Because of you, it's never safe. Because of you. So now what I'm doing, I don't want to go that way. Lisa H, I just posted your gnomes. Sorry, actually, I was addressing Jason Bacon to tell Lisa H, because I imagine you're together, but I guess if I'm telling you, I'm telling her. It's all good. So, yeah, I just posted the gnome. Throw out what makes me the heart try. See it through the rain. Oh, I guess you can see me on YouTube in the reflection. Because of go. Yes, indeed. Hello, Miss H. I did. Yeah, I just posted the gnome, but I didn't tag you this round. I've usually tagged you in your requests. Now, I got to tell you, Jerry, you got to come back. If you're new to my lives, you got to come back when I'm doing requests, and you'll see there's a lot of people then. Talking to Jerry on YouTube. Um, Usually people don't stick around to watch my slow drawings. That's nice. Doing random lines in the background, vertical or horizontal lines, just as a background pattern. So this is the final phase. This is my 7th hour working on this drawing. I work 1 hour at a time. And so as I'm finishing these lines, oh goodness, trying to make it exact, but I'm darkening these lines so they show. This is just a random pattern of lines. So I do everything, when I do this final phase, I do everything from the background to the foreground. So I'm retracing, well, I'm actually creating some new lines for the background. Thanks, Sanya. I actually just shook it a little bit so it faded. So I'm now retracing it to create a two-tone effect. Too bad you couldn't let us join you live. Yes, no, it's true. Because then I wouldn't have to go look at my chat. But yeah, then you'd be in my footage. As fun as that sounds, it defeats the purpose of the footage. Well, hey, Midnight Milkshake. Thanks for the follow. This is one of my slower lives, so bear with me. I'm working on, this is my 7th hour working on this piece. I work on it 1 hour at a time. So it's started a while ago. And this will eventually be my new profile picture. So it looks faded because I just shook it a little bit. So that way the shadows on here are going to be two-tone. There's Pink Floyd. I'm like, this is weird music. Oh, it's Pink Floyd. I hope the background pattern's not too distracting. Oh well, it is what it is. Just looking at the top corner that I did, a lot of lines because it didn't quite fade all the original lines. This music's too weird. Hey, the bacon! The bacon on YouTube. Hello. I'm working on my self-portrait. I usually work on it Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but I didn't get a chance to this week. But I really wanted to get started in this last. This is now my last phase of the drawing. Let me go ahead and draw the worm while I'm here. This is Etch a Worm, my mascot, my daughter created. Although you can't really see it because I have to retrace it so you can see it. Just the family, right? Usually is. Staring at the drawing now, making sure lines are exact. Oh, that's not good. It's all right. Retrace it to kind of which lines around. Let's make this. The drawing looks blurry. Oh no. Thank you for saying something. Because it probably was. It's probably focusing on my head. Let's try to have it focus on the Etch A Sketch copy. Thanks for saying something, Jason. The Etch A Sketch stopwatch is cute. Thank you. Oh, that's a good point. I forgot I was timing myself. It's I work on this drawing 1 hour at a time, so it's telling me how long I've worked on it. It's been 11 minutes, almost 12. Yes, I did. I lightly shook it. I started the live with the light shake. Unless that's what you're talking about, it looks faded. So, but it could have been blurry because it's faded. You don't see much of it, and so the camera would have been focusing on probably my reflection. Well, hello, Galaxy Michael. Welcome. All just hanging out here while I'm drawing. Redrawing Etch a Worm, I think. Yeah. There we go. Nice little happy smile. Oh, my sound is on. My phone. I thought I turned it off. Let me turn my sound off and put my do not disturb on. There we go. Was that a picture of the blurriness? I don't know. I just saw you posted a photo and you said this is what it looked like. So I don't know what you posted. Yes. Okay. Does it look like that right now? Are we blurry again? Oh, I'm gonna go look. No, I think that's normal. Hold on, I gotta see it bigger. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's what it looks like because I shook it. Yay! Welcome to hearing. Yeah, like this is all faded. Shoot, where's my stylus? Okay, there it is. There's not too much to hear except for music and my ramblings. That's horrible. I need to focus on this. The original drawing was so much better. I'll fix stuff. Dogs are barking. Somebody's alive. They don't like it. Sure. Thanks, Swat. Now some of it looks faded because I am retracing it. I did shake it just a little bit, and I'm redrawing it now for the final phase. So I work on it 1 hour at a time. That's why I've got the timer going. It's been 17 minutes now. So I'll work on this for another 1 hour minus 17 minutes for today. I don't expect to work on it again until I don't expect to draw this again until next Tuesday. But I at least wanted to get it started again this week. Hey, Par, I lightly shook it so it creates the two-tone effect. So I faded all of the shadows, and I'm retracing now the parts that are going to be dark. Some of it was, the powder was not even on the inside. So like where I'm drawing now, where the worm is, that's where I'm drawing, by the way, is much, much lighter than, say, the top corner above it, the top left. Yeah, but this is part of my process. I don't know if you missed Jack and Sally, if you started watching me after that, that's what I do. Halfway through the drawing, I lightly shake it. And that's what I started today with. If you go to my videos on YouTube and look up Jack and Sally and watch it, you'll see about halfway through, I lightly shake it to fade it and create the two-tone effect. It's just the trick is trying to make sure the powder is even all the way across the screen, and it wasn't on this case. It was mostly on the bottom left. So it was completely intentional. It looks like a mistake, but it was completely intentional. Yeah, the shading on the worm, absolutely nothing shows. Oh, well. He won't be shaded, I guess. What is this? Oh, it's just black eyed peas. This is.
Gotta get dip.
All right,
Gotta get dip. Gotta get dip. Gotta get chip.
You've gone less than an hour the last few times.
Gotta get dip.
Boom boom pow. Yes, indeed.
Yep. Yep.
Indeed. Oh, hey, Gretchen. Sorry, when I do these drawings, I do focus more on my drawing than I do the chat. So I look up once in a while. So sorry, I missed you.
Next up, visual shit. I keep that out of your bed.
Jacket like style, they try to copy my swagger. I'm on that next shit now. I'm still 3008, you still 2000 late. That boom, 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 that future boom, boom, boom. Let me get in there.
My intention was to have shading on the worm, but it is what it is. It's all right. I'm letting it go.
Yep.
That's not the most important part.
Let's some y'all hear that spaceship. When I step inside the room, tempers go ape shit. Y'all suck on some shit. That robot stupid man. On that HD flat, history go boom boom chaps. I'm a beast when you turn me on into the future.
Thanks, Madman.
Faster, stronger, sexy ladies, extra longer.
So now what I'll do is when I'm retracing, like when I retrace the knobs, I'm not going to I'm not going to reshade it, so it'll be like faded. It'll create two-tone effect. I usually show my monorail as a good example, but it's at work.
Yup.
Again, quiet because I'm doing a little focusing here. All good. All good. Where'd the end of them go? I'm still retracing it. Jeez. But this whole corner pretty much faded to almost non-existence. You can see it in real life, but it's really faded. Am I sideways on your TV, Jason Bacon and Lisa H? Or are you just watching me? I'm sideways on TikTok because I'm using the footage for a 16 by 9 time lapse video in the end.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
No, it won't let you do sideways. Okay. It's cute. Etch a Worm is done. So I can go back to some more background lines. Let's make it straight up and down. The neck is cramped. Looking sideways, that's funny. Looks normal to you, the bacon? All right. Oh, right, because you're on YouTube. I'm talking about TikTok. I'm filming it sideways on TikTok because I'm not using the footage on YouTube for my time lapse. Sorry for the confusion. I meant on TikTok it's sideways because I use the footage from TikTok for my time lapse videos. You can see you're still sticking around the bacon. I don't know if you left and came back, but glad to see you around. All right, so I'm at the very bottom working on the two-tone, the darker lines down here. Yeah, I should give it a look. Thanks for following the detail. Fantastic. I'm glad you've been here. I looked at the camera, but I forgot I'm not on camera. I was going to say thank you for being here the whole time, Bacon. All right. Like I said, I don't read the chat often, so I'm okay if you're not chatty. I think that'll be good for the bottom lines. Yeah, there's the bacon on YouTube. Faye asked if we had two bacons now because Jason Bacon is on Par. Oh, see, now you see it sideways. Par joined me on TikTok. The Bacon is an account on YouTube that's watching. Then there's Jason Bacon on TikTok, who is actually a moderator and Etch A Sketch family member. Feels weird. I wouldn't say an Etch A Sketch brother because that's usually what I call my Etch A Sketch family who do Etch A Sketch drawing. But that's all right. You are the original. Yeah. So yeah, Par jumped over to TikTok to see what it looked like sideways. Although it's a better image too. Because I didn't really do much adjusting to the camera on YouTube. Sorry about that, YouTube. Your angle, you see my face in it the whole time while I'm leaning forward and drawing. That didn't quite turn out. I'm going to retrace that line. It looks too thin, is what I'm saying. In some places. Galaxy Michael, if you're still here, did Marshall send a request to the Bacon family everywhere? That's right. Everyone else is imposters. Fantastic. Life here in Canada is weird. I got to try poop. Okay. Pouting. I'm going to say pouting. It's safe. Well, hey. All right there, Volt. I'm talking to you now. Most of the time when I'm working on these drawings, I'm not looking at chat, but I'm looking at you now, Volt. I'm talking to you. Fantastic. Now let's see. Now I don't want. Okay, I found my stylus. I couldn't find where I left off. That's the problem with looking away. I'm gonna go here. Off to Las Vegas in a couple days. Hey, I know that place. I'm gonna see Weird Al in concert Saturday at the Venetian. My son has his best friend from California coming to visit next week. They're going to see the concert, I think, on Wednesday or Thursday. We're going to have dinner with them at the Venetian on Tuesday. Going to lose all your money. Yeah, you are. I once did a convention in Vegas, and the company gave $100 to go gamble, and I had a couple drinks with playing blackjack and apparently making bad decisions because a few of my calls, people at the table were like, and they started going away. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm that guy. Now this corner is super faded too because I overcompensated. So then also what I'll try to do is it's super easy when you're sober, yeah, blackjack. Um so what I also try to do is try to bang it on the bottom to try to knock some of the powder from the previous lines. But this is definitely a lot busier than my original picture, the picture in my mind. But it'll be all right. It's something. And it didn't have to take a lot of thought or planning, except for the wonderful worm. But even that, I didn't have to do the planning. That was Faye. So Faye had sketched, she printed a picture of the portrait that I was intending on drawing, whatever, my map. And she drew several different positions for the worm, and then that's the one that ended up winning, which was actually Emily's vote as well. Why impossible to leave the casino sober? Oh, yeah, that is hard when they give you free drinks because they want you to stay and they want you to spend your money. Hey, what's up, JR? Free drink is free drink. That's right. That's right. Yeah, they give you free drinks in the casinos while you're gambling. So let's say you're sitting at a table gambling, a waitress will come up and ask you what you want. You could ask for cigarettes because they don't want you leaving the table. I think they do. I think they still do that with cigarettes. I think they do that with drinks. It's been a while for me, even though I live here. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you're allowed to smoke inside in Vegas because they don't want you leaving the casinos. Yeah, it's amazing. Of course, it really smells like smoke. You smell like smoke after a while, whether you smoke or not. All right, I like this. Although I'm going to go back to the line I did before this one. Where am I at on time? Oh, 30 minutes. How about that? Yes, JR, because I haven't worked on it all week, so I decided to do self-portrait today. Although this will probably be the only day, because tomorrow's going to be a Friday night. I try to work on it on slower nights. Although last night, hey, thanks, Snake. Last night actually, I got a pretty decent audience. It was the highest viewed live on YouTube last night. And I actually ended up being alive for an hour. I didn't expect to be that live last night. Expected to be more dead. Usually Tuesdays and Wednesdays are not very popular live nights. But here we are. So yeah, I don't plan on working on this again until next week. Now, what am I going to do next? I think the Etch A Sketch, the words Etch A Sketch. I'm going to do a little more dark background lines here. I really want to make these dark, thick lines because I'm going to draw there later with my hair and the crown. I'm so happy. There's laws preventing that here. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Remember I was telling you I had a convention and I couldn't remember where. I forget what story I was telling while I was not sober, but the answer is Singapore. Oh, that's what it was. We were talking about traveling around the world. It's so funny. I watch my lives the next day while I'm working, or I listen to them while I'm doing my timestamps and enjoying the not sober me telling stories and such. But yeah, I'm looking at myself. I'm like, you went to Singapore, dumbass. So it was Singapore. I had a convention in Singapore. I lived in LA. No, I lived in Florida. I lived in Florida and I flew to Singapore for a convention. And then I had a company in Israel that wanted me to film in their studio. They were wanting to make a pilot for a game show, and they wanted me to record the English version to be promoted around Europe. Um, and so I flew to Singapore, then flew to Israel, which ended up being a waste of time. I got extremely sick while I was there, and they didn't end up filming me having time. And so, but then when I flew back to Florida, so in 2 weeks I circled the globe. It was pretty cool. But yeah, then I got super sick. That's the story I was trying to tell. Aren't you glad you didn't that didn't happen now? Yeah, working, yeah, in Israel, yeah. Well, even then, it wasn't the safest time. I told the guys at the studio, the people I worked with, it was an Israeli company that I was doing the conventions with on a regular basis. And the guys had told me how to say son of a bitch in Hebrew. And so I'm like, hey, look, they taught me this. They're like, oh no, let me tell you how to say you're a nice guy. And so forgot the toy existed. Oh man, thanks, Tobias. You got it. Greetings from Argentina. You got to check out my other videos. So yeah, the guys were kind of worried for my life. You don't want to go on the streets and start saying son of a bitch in Hebrew when you're an American. So like, here's how you say ish tov. That means you're good. What is this etch? I'm retracing the word etch to the right of my head. So I'm watching that real quick. The amount of times I've almost signed my life away to stupid things is crazy. Yeah. Doing a little registered trademark up here. All right, there we go. Moment of focus. Some of the comments in this live were filtered to protect the community's experience on TikTok. Oh, I didn't. Let me see over here. Oh, wow. I actually got a pretty good audience on YouTube. Thank you all for hanging out. So, as I said, I'm currently drawing the word etch. No, it's sketch. Oh my gosh. I need to correct that. It's a lowercase e. Oh my gosh. So that's a huge mistake. I didn't even realize what I was supposed to be spelling. I was supposed to be spelling sketch, which means the uppercase E I just drew, I need to turn it into a lowercase e. Well, snikes. That is my G-rated version of saying, oh shit. It doesn't go that high. It needs to be down here. There we go. This is okay down here. Let's go here. You've lost the stylus. Right. Flip it over and shake it. Sketch to etch. Right. The bacon on YouTube said, now it says sketch to etch. All right, there we go. That'll work fine. It's got some extra lines up there, but they won't be noticeable. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the prime example of letting a mistake go that no one's going to notice. Unless you were in this live right now or watching it back. What is this? Captain Underpants. There we go. All right, so I've got the extra lines up here from the uppercase E, but I've turned it into a lowercase e. And I'm going to have to edit out that finger point, but there we are. Where was I headed with this? Oh, to the other E, the other side of the crown with the E. Sure, my dad's what? A man? What do you say? Oh, a shaker. No, he's saying shake the Etch A Sketch. Flip it over and shake it to fix it. He's calling the Etch A Sketch a her. But you're not wrong, Faye. Thanks for noticing. All right, that is the capital E, and I did that correctly. You just misgendered? This is actually the soundtrack to Nightmare Before Christmas. This is To the Rescue. I'm sure you would have picked it up if I didn't say anything as it went on. This is where Jack comes back to save Sally and Santa. How much time do I have? 20 minutes. All right. Oh, so now what am I going to do? I guess I could do me. No, I go from background to foreground, so I need to do the screen, the Etch A Sketch screen. Hello, okay. Jack, you're supposed to be dead. Well, let me make you double dead. Do, 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 do. It's true. I guess that'd be technical dead. Sue you. It's true. So he'd be triple dead? I don't know. Mm-mm. There we go. All right, so this is where I'm going to go ahead and do the staircase. I think what I might do is actually have it's funny to use these lines without completing them just to get around from place to place. There we go. So I think what I'm going to do, see that, fortunately, it's the part in the middle that's perfect. Like it's the right amount of faded without being too faded. That's true. Since I am dead, I can take off my head to recite Shakespearean quotations. No animal, no man, scream like I can with the fury of my recitations. I received 4 shirts from my mom that used to be my dad's, and I wore one to work today. It was pretty fun. He had some fun shirts. Thought it was good. I'm not going into the office tomorrow, so I thought I would wear my dad's shirt. It was good for Father's Day coming up.
The candles on the great big cake.
Yeah, so I got 4 shirts. 4 of them are what? 3 of them are Disney themed, like Mickey, Donald, Goofy. One is a collage of Mickey Mouse paintings, I think. Okay, I'm going to start this. What I'm going to do is act as if the stylus started on the bottom corner, because that's where it always is when you open the package, and is drawing a straight line behind me, and then the stairs are going to start on the left, on my right, whatever, over on the other side. Or is smelling other people's clothes a girl thing? Did it smell like him? I didn't notice a specific odor. No, I know exactly what you mean. I didn't bother washing it because I figured my mom had washed it before giving it to me. But I did not notice a specific odor, and I'm not sure. The odor I remember of my dad growing up is coffee breath. I remember my dad having coffee breath, but I don't know of any other smell that I can recall. Now, this I should probably measure. Well, there it is right there. That's a fun little emoji there, the bacon. I can't tell what it is, though. It's pretty small. All right, now we're going to do... There we go. Stairs part 1. The one I wore today had a whole bunch of tiki statues all over it with some random bird of paradise every now and then. Oh, Jason's saying it's just the 2 of you on my TikTok. Because one count is me watching myself. Probably right. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Oh, by the way, that's what this is. Sorry. Gave it away. I think so. No, it's not. It's so lonely. I was wrong. Now I've got 8 people watch. I've got more people watching me on YouTube than on TikTok. That's amazing. Thank you all on YouTube for hanging out with me. I am I drew this whole self-portrait. I lightly shook it earlier today, and now I'm redrawing only some of it to create a two-tone effect. How much time? 46 minutes. So yeah, it's probably going to work out. I might be able to do some of the basics of my face, like the retrace, but then I think that's actually probably what I'm going to do. There's going to be now on this phase, I'm going to be doing a lot more detail on the crown and on my shirt. I'm going to give myself a Hawaiian shirt. And now that I'm talking about my dad's shirts, I wonder if I should try to replicate one of the shirts, like the tiki statue shirt. Yeah, I get it. I think I'll stop it there. Mm, I wish it was a better. This step is a little long. That's all right. I'll make it a little shorter.
Give me a beat.
There we go. And what I should go do the shirt. Actually, I should be doing the shirt details before my face. I think what I'll do. Pardon me while I talk to myself. I think what I'll do. I don't know what I'm going to do. Now I'm all kind of self-confused. And then I should be doing. We'll see. Hey, thanks for that. Oh, Scratch Nation. Scratch Nation's on YouTube farting. Thanks for starting a conversation or something. Hmm. Uh, Next time I do my portrait, I'll give you a better angle. Yeah, someone on YouTube farted. At least that's what they said. Pros of living alone. You can let them rip whenever you want. True story. Feel like a nut. And sometimes I don't. No, I don't know. I'm debating face over. Maybe I should. No, at this rate, I might finish this next week in time for my birthday. Oh my gosh, how awesome would that be if I finish this in time to have it done for my birthday on June 21st? I might make that a goal. Cheese will make Jason a bacon fart. You lactose intolerant, Jason? But drawing my face would be a good stopping place for today, because then at least it looks back to somewhat normal. It's actually a very productive day. Although, it depends. I guess it just depends on the amount of detail that I do. Happy birthday. Thanks, Toaster. Thanks, Toaster. On YouTube said happy birthday. Kevin E. Davis, Etch A Sketch artist. Do, 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 do. 'This is another Danny Elfman score. Seven minutes. I really need to pay attention. I mean, it's okay that the glasses lines are thicker, but I'm not following as perfect as I should be. Oh, I need to do the eyes. Trying to get the eyes and the glasses. Maybe we'll stop. Maybe, you know what? I did stop short before, as Faye pointed out. So maybe I'll go ahead and do my whole face and then stop. Pushing the powder around, I'm having to really retrace a lot of lines. I got to go a little slower. Otherwise, the static electricity on the back side of the screen would draws the powder right back up to the screen. All right, I'm very happy with that eye. Mm. I'm gonna knock some excess powder. It's a little disconnected, but I think it'll work. I like it. Kind of holding my breath here. Except for that point right then when I talked. So my live tomorrow, I will be back to take requests. Parker's going to ask me to do whatever that guy is. You keep asking me to do. Decided not to retrace the bag under the eye line because let that be faded. No, you got money. I forget what you requested. I feel like you requested something and I didn't do it. But I'm sober now, so I don't remember what it was. Thanks, Frank Reynolds. I've been working on this self-portrait 1 hour at a time. This is my 7th hour. That's right, Eon Flux. Thank you for the reminder. What about summer? Is starting to properly summer, and migraines have been peaking around the corner. Oh, man. It's fantastic. Got great skills, man. Keep it up. Thanks, Frank. Um, this year makes 30 years that I've been working with the Etch A Sketch. It's very relaxing for me, but definitely a skill that I've learned I've got a knack for. You're on my YouTube, so definitely feel free to go check out my videos. A lot of time lapse of my detailed drawings. My lives are always kept. I've only been going live though since January. So like right now I'm doing my eyebrow and I'm going a little faster so it's totally dark lines that look, more loosey-goosey hairs. And then I'm going to connect back to the glasses. And then what I'll do is as I retrace the glasses, I'm going to push the powder around on the back side. It's going to cover the connecting line to the eyebrow. So the eyebrow is going to look like it's disconnected. And so then I think the next time I pick this up, I don't plan on working on this again until next Tuesday. But when I do, I think what I'm going to do is the detail on the crown. Crown or the shirt? I should do the crown last because that's where I'm going to put my initials on the little Etch A Sketch. So I'll do my Hawaiian shirt when on Tuesday. I'm going to finish my face redraw today. So my arms. I can't forget my arms. I'll do my arms before my shirt. I should go on quite fast. There we go. Oh, so disconnected lines. Scott asked, I'm drawing Friedman. Scott Friedman on YouTube has a couple questions. What am I drawing and how do you disconnect the lines? This is a self-portrait. It's going to become my new profile picture when I'm done. So the way the Etch A Sketch works is inside there's very fine aluminum powder that I'm pushing that's stuck to the glass with static electricity. As I'm turning these knobs, there's a stylus inside that's scratching the powder off of the screen. During that process, it's like drawing in the sand where it pushes the powder to each side of the line. So what I'm doing is using that to my advantage to push the powder around and disconnect lines. Creates the illusion of disconnecting lines. Like they were there like I magically lifted up the stylus inside, but I never did. No tricks here except for manipulation of the powder. No, don't tag my. I'm still. There we go. I wasn't quite sitting on my chair very well. Shoot. Okay, there I am. I feel like I don't need to retrace my lip. We'll see. See what this looks like when I'm retracing these parts. Okay, maybe once. That was worth it. Okay. I'm shading the inside of my mouth. What time are we at? We're a minute and 30 over the hour, which is great because the inside is powder. It's aluminum. It's aluminum. It's not magnetic at all. It's not magnets. People think it's magnets, but that's the magnedoodle. So it's just very fine aluminum powder, and it sticks to the glass with static electricity. And so then the stylus inside this little point is on an XY axis. Axis. And turning the knobs moves it left, right, up, and down. And the balance of these knobs is what creates the curves and things. And I've learned that my mind will think of the lines I want to draw, and my hands will just make it happen. I don't have to think of the balance. I'm going to go slow. When I go too fast, it makes static electricity, and the powder sticks right back to the screen. There we go. I'm having a hard time now that I've scratched off all that powder. I'm having a hard time seeing the actual tip where it is. I got it now. I think. Yeah, I do. I had somebody once ask if it runs out of ink or lead, or does the pencil ever run out? That's what they said. I don't even know. It's just a powder inside. And so there's a pile of powder on the bottom. As long as I'm keeping it flat, it's not going to erase the drawing. It's probably too. I don't know what I just did there. Let's try to salvage it. We need to really focus on this. Because if I screw up the mouth, that'll definitely be noticeable. It's Uni son, calling every city son. It's once off one. We don't want war, take no more. It's drastic time for sure. We need an antidote and a cure. Cause do you really think Muhammad got a problem with your whole war? We don't want war. Imagine if every prophet was alive. Ain't permanent days, amongst you and I. You think they would view life like you and I do? Or when they sit and contemplate on why we live this way, act and behave this way. We still live in primitive today. Cause the peace, the destination, and war can't be the way. There's no way. So people just be a woman, be a man, realize that you can't change the world by changing yourself, and understand that we all just the same. When I count to three, let's change. Let's go to union, calling every human. It's one for all and all for one. Let's get unison, calling every city son. It's one for all and all for one. Oh, got no time for grand philosophy. I barely keep my head above my thigh. Very. Got this music, it's got 3 kids in school. What you say is true, but they chose this one. Change the if I could change my mind. If I could live beyond life. Exchange and unity for my insecurity. Sounds very a lot like Sting.
My tears.
It's not, but it sounds like Sting. All right, here we go. I think I'm wrapping it up. I'm going to retrace the bottom lip. Bottom of the
It's unison, Calling every city sign. It's one off.
And I think I need to walk away from it.
Oh, you're in a real position in the
Not
midst of
try to
all
do any
these
more
negative
touch-up.
conditions,
No.
divided by beliefs, differences, and religion. Why do we keep missing the point on our mission? Why are we killing each other? What's the reason? God made us all equal in this vision. I wish that I could make music as a religion. Then we could harmonize together in this mission.
All right,
Listen, I
gonna
know it's
retrace
hard
the
to make
blast.
changes, but two of us can help and rearrange this. Cause utilize our power and our voices together. We will unite and make the right choice and fight for education. Get the next generation come together as one. I don't understand why it's never been done, so let's change on the count of one. It takes one, just one, and then one falls into one, and then the other falls into one. Next thing you know, you got a billion people doing some wonderful things. People doing some powerful things. Let's change it to some powerful things. Unity could be a wonderful thing. Let's go to Julia, calling every human. It's one for all and all for one. Let's live in unison, calling every city sign. It's one for all for one.
I'm gonna do another pass on the glasses on my left eye, which is to the right, if you're looking at me. I think I'm gonna have to be happy with this in the end. This is one of those situations I focus on each little part close up, and I don't see the big picture until I stop and look at it. And then what I'll do is, if I'm going to work on the shirt next time, then I think I'm going to leave the stylus like at the end of a sleeve. In fact, I'm going to leave it, and then I'll have to use my sign here. That's where I left off. Maybe not. Changing my mind. All right. So that's what I do to now I'm going to make it upright for TikTok. Oh, my charger just fell. There we go. I don't like this little clumps of powder inside my mouth. That looks weird. That's a bummer. I feel like I'm going to need to go back and get that. I like the eyes though. Oh, it's really hard to tell on YouTube. Let me see if I can get you. There we go. That's fancy. Actually, let me get it here. Thanks for the follow. Join. Aha! Let's do it like this. So yeah, see inside my mouth, there's just this little bit that should be scraped off. Oh, that's the shadow of the Post-it note. Not. Otherwise, though, I think I'm happy with that face. I don't think I need to reach. Yeah, I'll circle back. I might thin out this part of the lip. Inside of the mouth needs a little touch up. Awesome. Thanks, Jason. So Tuesday, I plan on working on this again. I'm going to stop my timer. Tuesday, I'll work on this again. I'll get a better angle for YouTube for that day. Sorry about that. It kind of looks crummy. It's not a great angle. That's what I'm saying. Sorry. Oh, so here's how our worm ended up. Very cute. None of the shading really, I mean, you can see some of the shading here, but yeah, I don't know if that shading was really worth it. It would have been if I hadn't gray so much. Yeah, I think the background's going to end up being a good blend of some faded and some not. It's just background filler anyway. Actually, I should do the arms and the knobs before the shirt because I go from background to foreground. The shirt's on top of it, so that's what I'll do next time. I'll start with the arms. I'm actually on one right now. After this live, I'll take a picture, make Popeye arms on my arms. Okay. I do need to make sure this one looks like it might be thinner than this one, but that's also the shading. It'll work out. Little anchors on them. Yeah, it's funny, James. I know. But yeah, then on the crown, this part right here is going to have a whole bunch of detail. Well, I'm recreating my actual crown, and so oh goodness, for see that bottom part has all these patterns. I'm doing that for YouTube. Oh, let's do it like this. The bottom part has all these little zigzags and things, and I plan on doing that on these lines. I just didn't want to take the time to do it and then shake it and redo it. So the crown will be the last thing I work on, and it will be because then the little Etch A Sketch on the crown is going to have my initials on it. So with all this being said, I'm going to say goodnight and be done. So thanks everybody for hanging out. And again, I'll work on this Tuesday. Tomorrow night, I'll be back with a pocket size and request. This is the last request I did. It was a radio for radio. Did a radio for radio. How touching. All right.